Imagine this. One morning, you wake up for work, alarm goes off at 8 a.m. You're going through your normal schedule to get ready, putting your clothes on, doing your makeup or washing your face, getting ready however you do in your normal everyday life. And the last thing you do is make your breakfast right before you leave. You always start your day with a nice piece of toast. But this one day in particular, you had a rough morning. You forgot about the toast. Well, it was in the toaster and you burnt it so bad that you couldn't even eat it. You had to spend another 2 or 3 minutes making another piece. And in your mind, you think there's the worst possible thing that could have happened. You're now going to be late for work and your boss is going to look at you funny. So many trickling effects in your mind that you think are just terrible. Over on your way to work, the thing that you didn't see coming was on your Google Maps. It told you that there was a fatal accident right in front of you, 2 minutes away. And you realize that piece of burnt toast would have saved your life. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Cooper, and we're trying to beat Minecraft for the first time while talking about things that I think are interesting, that I see in my everyday life, and think you guys find that interesting as well. Today, we are talking about the burnt toast theory, which, if you didn't pick up on the story that I just told, is essentially the natural way that the world delays your life, and how sometimes being late can actually save you, and how these little delays are meant to happen. Even though in the moment they look like negative, they turn out to be more positive than you ever could have thought. These things in life, for me, who's a very scheduled guy, never really believed in the burnt toast theory. I thought it was kind of just a way to cope with unfortunate things that happen in your life, and kind of looking at life in a glass half full perspective instead of a glass half empty perspective. However, I had an experience in the past couple months that really turned my thinking around. And as someone who lives a very scheduled life, I'm not sure if you guys might go just with the ebbs and flows life, or if you are like me and try and plan majority of things you do in your day to day. But being late by a couple minutes can really make or break some of the things I do. So when that toast burns, I'm always, almost always would look at it as just something so detrimental. Those minutes lost, even though I spend so much time looking in the mirror, doing things that probably don't even matter in the grand scheme of things. I would look at that piece of toast and blame it for me being late, even though it's my fault that I was late in the first place. Now, with all of this in mind, I'll take you back to the beginning of December of 2025, which was a couple months ago when this video is being made. I had a final presentation in one of my major health lectures in college, which was going to count towards my major. And in classic Cooper fashion, if you were to ask my friends or literally anyone else from that class, I was late. Even though it was a huge final presentation and one that you could not miss, I was late. And at this point, I had my parents and even my classmates, my group mates, especially in my year, telling me that I shouldn't be late. This was a big presentation, a big grade for all of us, and being late could have impacted that. However, I heeded their warnings and kind of ignored them, to be honest, because at this point in my life I had a lot going on my schedule, and again, with an excuse, but I ended up being late regardless. And so I walk in about 10 minutes late, and luckily presentations hadn't started yet. So at that point I thought being late didn't really matter, but little did I know that it was about to have a much bigger impact on my life outside of the classroom. Class goes by, all these groups are presenting, whatever, and I get up. We're the second to last group to present, and we're talking about something relating to steroids and the effect of that they have on your body, just very generic stuff. Little did I know that my teammates, I call them teammates, but in reality they were my biggest enemies, because they threw a picture of me with no shirt on in front of the entire class on the last slide as a joke, and they submitted the slides to the teacher, who was, you know, going through them live, and I obviously didn't check because I wasn't as involved in this group as I probably should have been. So it was a very funny joke to everyone else, but I'm here giving the outro to our presentation, and I see myself with no clothes on, and I'm just sitting, I'm standing there, and as someone who is a personal trainer, having, you know, your fitness showed off to everybody isn't the worst thing, but I try and keep it under wraps. I normally wear very baggy clothes, and I don't like people seeing, you know, my progress and what I look like under everything, that don't need to see it, that aren't in that social circle. I try and keep that very separate, my gym life from my personal life, even though they kind of get integrated more often than I would like. Regardless, though, it blows over smooth, and everything seems to be okay. Everyone kind of laughs it off. A couple people saw my Instagram tag and followed me, which I thought was kind of odd, because that was not the point of the whole thing, and it was so cropped out, like you really had to look for it. But regardless, we finished the presentation. Vibes were good. We were easily the best group, and I'm willing to just forget about this whole class, assuming I get an A, and just go on with my life. However, what I wasn't expecting was one girl from this class had stayed after I had gone up to the teacher and told her, you know, that I apologized for being late and that I got my attendance in and everything. The girl had waited until after class to come up to me and essentially tell me how she felt about me, and kind of kicked off something between us that I wasn't expecting. Not one bit. Now you're probably wondering, where does the burnt toast come in all this? It's a embarrassing story, but where's the timing? Well, I'd linked her a couple times and seen her a couple times throughout the weeks that followed for winter break, and eventually one time I was driving her back to my place, and I was thinking about it, about how what made her suddenly think on the last day of class to come up to me. Because first of all, this is one of the first times in my life, and one of the probably only times that you'll hear a girl coming up to a guy. It's not a very traditional thing, especially where I live, for the women to hit the guys. It's almost forced upon guys to shoot their shot, or else there will be no shot ever. Regardless, I wanted to ask her what made her come up to me. Was it the picture of me in front of everybody in the presentation? Was it, I don't know, just something random? Maybe my presentation skills, because as you could probably tell by the way that I make this video and the way that I talk, I enjoy public speaking. I wanted to know what it was. So I asked her. Believe it or not, her response was the fact that I was late. The fact that my toast had burnt, and that I ignored all the warnings and all the preemptive advice make it to class on time. In classic fashion, I was late for the most important class of the year, and that was the reason she saw me. Because she said she never paid attention. But this one day, while the teacher was giving probably the most important directions of the semester, I had walked in at the most opportune time, and she saw me. Even though I was in class that entire year, looking the exact same way, showing up at the exact same time, my toast had burnt. And for that reason, that little late period, those couple minutes that I would normally be pretty mad that I lost, ended up giving me an opportunity in some of the best, happiest months of my life. And now, granted, I'm unfortunately no longer talking to this person, and that person also had given me some of the worst months of my life. However, that's not the moral of the story. What I'm trying to say here is to take the opportunities that life gives you and the flow that is in front of you, and don't always look at it as being a negative thing, as life always being out to get you, and that the car that cut you off, or the grandma that's going 20 miles per hour in a 60, or the stain that you spilt on your clothes, or the sandwich that you dropped in front of everybody, whatever it may be, that unfortunate event that unravels in your life, spin it into something positive. Or be prepared for that spinoff. Because I certainly wasn't. But I'm thankful it happened. Thankful I was late. And now every day, I continue to burn my toast in the hopes that something like that happens again. Thank you guys for watching today's video. This is the first of hopefully many story times that I can give you guys. If anyone has any similar stories, anything related, or if this any of the details that I gave remind you of something in your own life, please do share in the comments. I love reading every single comment that you guys leave on the videos. The last one, the kind of announcement that we were going to do more in-depth stuff, the whole peakness chain, I really love that. That was really funny. And just any topics you want me to talk about, or any things that you're maybe feeling after the video, please do let me know. And last but not least, we are doing an SMP over on Twitch. I know if you're watching this, you probably play Minecraft or have at least seen Minecraft, and if you want to get involved, please feel free to check out the SMP over on Twitch. I'm live almost every day and would love to have you over there. We've been having a ton of fun on the server, so if you want to jump in, we'd love to have you. At whatever time, too. If you want to burn your toast and be late to the party, I get it. I don't blame you. But seriously, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for all the support recently. We're almost at 550, which is insane. I want to really push and try and hit 1,000. It's always been a dream of mine to hit 1,000 on one of these like passion projects. And I'm very proud of how far not only I've come, but this channel has come in terms of kind of the community that we're building. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the drollas. If you enjoyed this video, please tell me in the comments. If you didn't enjoy the video, also tell me in the comments. Just let me know whatever you're thinking. And I will definitely see you guys soon, because I've been really looking forward to making these videos, and I can't wait to see what's to come. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you very soon.